As the assault closes in on Kyiv, 2.5 million civilians are suddenly on the front line.
Some estimate the running death toll as high as 1,000 per day.
Overnight, the lives of millions of people in Ukraine changed forever.
The Ukrainians are talking about over 200 attacks today.
It was as sudden as it was brutal and relentless. Ukrainians woke up to find themselves plunged into the midst of war. Explosions and air raid sirens ringing out here in Kyiv and cities across this country.
February 2022, Kiev, Ukraine. Russian soldiers invaded the capital of Ukraine in Kiev. This was Russia's first step in invading Ukraine in a war in which has been brewing since 2014. The conflict increased in tension throughout the year, with Russian missile strikes hitting parts of the eastern section of Ukraine. Because of everything going on in their home country, over 6 million Ukrainian refugees fled the country to try escape the war. Over 350,000 Ukrainian refugees came to the UK. In early March 2022, a Ukrainian mother and her son got in contact with a London-based household as they hoped to move away from everything going on in their home country. A month later, that Ukrainian family would move into the British house with the hope that their life could be better in a different culture and country.
Well, I mean, I suppose it started when in February we started seeing on the news, Russian troops amassing at the Ukraine border, and every night, kind of on BBC News, it was saying that they were going to invade, and nobody really believed that they would. And then we were seeing on the news every night pictures of Ukrainians fleeing across the Polish and Romanian borders, other borders as well. So we were kind of really wanted to do something to help and didn't really know what to do. And then the British government announced that they were going to do this Homes for Ukraine scheme, whereby British residents could open up their homes and welcome Ukrainian refugees. We decided very quickly that this is something that we wanted to do. So I just did a post on Facebook. Luda and Kostya were the first people who responded. So we spoke to them the next day. Within 2 days, we were filling in all the visa forms.
Hi, my name is Kostya, and I'm from Poltava, which is in northeastern part of Ukraine.
We arrived in London from Ukraine in May 2022.
It was a hard decision for me and especially for my parents, because moving into a really massive city is always hard, but there are a lot of big opportunities in this city.
Kostya's father lives in Ukraine now. He stays in Ukraine because he is man. He don't have possibility to leave Ukraine, and I and Kostya stay here in England alone.
Yeah, it's not that easy, but I'm just calling him every day and just trying to hold contact with him. So yeah,
it's really horrible because I would like to see and hug all my family and my husband and my cat and Kostya too. But now the situation not good.
Despite all the changes in Kostya's life, one thing has always stayed the same: Kostya's love for football and goalkeeping. Kostya had previously played for Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine, and since moving to the UK, Kostya has joined Crystal Palace's academy as he hopes to make it pro one day.
I'm going to a training at Crystal Palace right now. So I'm taking a train from Earthfield and then going to Waterloo East, and from there I'm going to Lower Sydenham and just a small walk, like 10 minutes.
yeah, I do like football. The specific thing is goalkeeping. I do enjoy this stuff, like diving and catching the ball. It really helps mentally and physically to improve my skills.
Just as any other Tuesday evening, Kostya was walking home from school. Just as he walked past Wandsworth Common Station, 3 masked men with baseball bats came up to Kostya trying to take his phone.
They asked me basically what phone do I have, so I realized that something is not really good, so I decided to punch one of them and just started to run. After like 300 meters, the tall guy reached me, then he floored me on the ground, and when I was getting up, the second guy hit me with probably like aluminium stick. I went to the hospital and I spent like 5 hours there with concussion. I hope that everything is gonna be fine, but I'm just resting and trying to mentally prepare for the game and physically also, so I hope I'm gonna play.
The assault meant that Kostya wouldn't be allowed to play football or go to school as he took serious damage to the brain. This could result in Kostya not being able to feature ahead of his team's crucial cup final match.
Well, we are playing against Camberley today in the Surrey Cup final. The game will be really interesting because they're much better than our team, but I hope we will win.
Future, I would like to become the professional player and hopefully to play for the Ukrainian national team. I really like this feeling when I'm making some saves, when we're winning the games, so hopefully I'll just become the pro.